TBD. That's to be
What
determined.
about like
We'll
we'll get
figure it
together
out.
over we'll get together over the
Yeah, if
weekend
we get together over the weekend,
and you never
that is
schedule it.
we get together over the weekend is you saying you're going to contact me and figure out something over the weekend. You better not reach out to me on Monday talking about I fell asleep or I was drunk. I don't care. We're done.
I've dated someone before where I've said something about like we're dating and then like, well, we weren't dating because like we never said that we were dating.
Right. How'd that end up?
Well,
but that's my point.
response to that was like, you came to my home and met my family.
Right,
Like,
though.
you get real comfortable here.
Now it's getting to good. Are you starting us out this time? Oh, you didn't have to clap again.
I wanted to.
You just wanted to
I'm
clap.
in charge now.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, so we
Overcorrection.
are here in our living room, sitting room, living room. I don't know which
This is the living
people call
room.
those. I always never know. Which is the family room, which is the TV
Family room
or
has
whatever,
the TV. The living room has the couch to sit on and talk.
which doesn't make sense.
To do life in.
Life happens in that room.
No, to do life with other people happens in the living room. The family room, who doesn't want to talk to each other and just sit and watch TV, they go to the family room where the TV is. It's not that hard.
If anyone can solve this debate for us, I don't actually know if it's never really been a debate. I'm always like, I don't know which one is which. The family
Yeah, so
room
we've just renamed it the TV room and the
and
sitting
the sitting room. Yeah, the family room and the living room.
So we're in the sitting room.
So we're in our sitting room.
Our sitting room.
And we are here because lots of people, or many different people, have told
Many
us, like,
different-
you guys should just record your conversations that you have about
Yeah.
relationships and dating, because we
Or
allow
just our normal random conversations.
yeah, we allow our friends and those we're close to just ask us any sort of questions they want about married life, relationships, etc., etc. So here we are, just doing that.
Just doing it.
Just doing that. So I have a little bowl of questions that you have written down.
I've pulled from things that people have told us to Chad GPT,
Yeah,
Sharice
and
GPT.
and since this is our trial, we will like ask people like what questions they have, and we'll
In the future, and yeah, just
we'll
talk to
answer
them.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want me to read you a question, or do you want me to ask a question that I have for you?
Let's start out with one of those questions.
You nervous?
Wait. That's like
shut up.
saying, can we talk for a moment? No, I don't want to hear whatever you have to say next.
No, I don't say it like that. I say like, I need to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
Or, hey, can I talk to you about something?
Yeah.
That's how I say it.
Yeah, and then murder music plays in my head immediately after, like this is a like Final Destination or something. It's about to happen.
And then what is it usually that I want to ask you?
Do you want to be my baby forever?
That is one. No, that's the question. Like sometimes like, hey, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
And you're nervous, you get nervous about that one too. But then it's
Yeah.
usually like, what do you want for dinner?
Right.
Or
Right. Which is just as bad. Just as bad. I don't know.
okay.
I'm only eating because I have to.
So because you're nervous about me just asking you one of my questions.
Yeah, why don't we start with one on paper?
with one of these.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there first.
Okay, when is the point to give up on a relationship?
When is the point to give up on a relationship? Yeah. All right. So that, of course, has several different answers, I guess.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
would agree.
that has several different answers. And I think the answer to that also depends heavily on how much a person, I mean, a lot of factors, but I think one of the main factors is how much does a person understand themselves and what they need. You know, I think for that person who has a very specific understanding of who they are and what they need and what they're looking for in life, that answer will be a lot sooner in a relationship than other people. Because when that person is like, okay, this is what I value, this is what I want, this is who I need, these are my parameters, right? Then at the very first, maybe not the very first, but when it really hits that line where it's like, where you're saying to yourself, but ... Whether it's, but I really love being around them, or but we get along together, or but they like the same things that I do, whatever follows that but that's in your thought process, that's the thing that starts to flip the turn to say, okay, I need to go. Because at this point, I'm starting to justify. Now, for a person who isn't at that point of fully understanding themselves, I think it's at that point. Is at that point, okay, first of all, I don't think any relationship is really ever 50-50.
Mhm.
You might have to swing a 60-40 from time to time. Hopefully not too much 70-30s, but if you're getting to the
Yeah.
point you're swinging like a 75-25, a 80-20 type of thing
Consistently.
consistently. Because in a real relationship, there are going to be the ebbs and flows and
Mhm.
times where things are
Mhm.
flowing and you're giving more than the other person is giving more. And there are going to be the other times where they're giving more than you're giving. But ultimately, you want to average out closer to the 50-50, closer to a sixty
Yeah.
forty. But if you're consistently doing the 80-20 thing, and that could be 80-20 in however, whatever sphere. So if you think emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or physically, and you have those four kind of item categories, if you're giving 80-20 in like all of them, it's time to roll anyway, you know? Because we have different strengths and weaknesses. So it's balancing out the
Yeah.
strengths and weaknesses, it's balancing out how much you're giving of yourself. And if you're at the point where you're giving of yourself so much that you feel as if you stopped, nothing would be returned to you, then that is the point where you need to go.
How are you defining relationship in that question?
Well, because we talk a lot, we talk generally a lot to people who are dating or married or in that realm. Then I'm thinking romantic relationship, as in dating, married, and I that relationship word is hard too in today's definition because people some oftentimes don't even know if they're in a committed relationship. Like
Yeah.
they don't know if they're even are we
Or be
are
exclusive?
we exclusive? You know,
I found that like people now won't say that they're dating unless they know that they're gonna marry this person.
I
Unless
find
they both like feel like they're gonna marry this person
see
or
now,
each other.
now see that's the problem though, right?
Right.
The point of dating,
Yeah.
courting, is to the point of dating is to find out if you're going to marry the person. If you know you're going to marry the person, then you are kind of beyond dating in my definition. You know, you're committed. You're just moving to fiance to engaged level.
Yeah.
Dating is when you first started talking to each other. That's you hit dating when you like somebody, right? You like them, you know they like you. You're dating at that
What
point.
if you're just like dating around?
Dating around, see, but see, we notice we put around on it, right? We went from dating to dating around. Around tells you what it is. I mean,
So in your answer,
yeah,
you were defining relationship as committed relationship,
yeah. I'm defining
whether it
committed
be
as committed
dating
relationship.
or married.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So which is goes back to that if you know yourself thing. If you're just well, fooling around would be physical, but if you're just hanging out, right? Hanging out is the pre-dating. So if you're just hanging out and you're just getting to know each other, then the time to leave is the moment you think that I should leave, whatever that is. If they didn't come pick you up and you're supposed to go out someplace and you're like, this fool couldn't even drive to pick me up, it's time to go. It's time to go. They couldn't get out and go to get you, so it's time for you to go somewhere else. Like it's really see.
Because they wouldn't come pick you up, or they said they're going to and didn't,
And
or
they
wouldn't.
didn't.
They
Or
didn't.
don't you dare tell me we're gonna go out somewhere and then you don't call me or text me or something. And then you would call the next day, be like, I fell asleep, or I was tired, or I had to work
So
late.
you're talking after you've made committed plans.
No, I'm talking about if we're talking about hanging out. Well, yeah. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I heard committed, and I was thinking committed relationships. You're
No,
talking
like
about
you've
committed
committed
plans.
to plans. Yeah.
If
Like
you even have a
we're
tentative
meeting
plan,
this day at this time at this
nah.
place.
Cause see, I'm real sticky about my time. You know, because you can't
Yes, you are.
you can't
You are.
replace a minute. I will go off on you if you waste a minute. So I'm real sticky about my time. So even if we had tentative plans, like we're going out Saturday, we think we might go out 7 or 9 or something like that. That's TBD. That's to be
Or what
determined.
about like
We'll figure it out.
we'll get together over the
Yeah, if
weekend
we get together over the weekend,
and you
that
never
that is
schedule it.
we get together over the weekend is you saying you're going to contact me and figure out something over the weekend. You better not reach out to me on Monday talking about I fell asleep or I was drunk. I don't care. We're done. Like I'm out. I'm out at this point. Like I'm already out. Like I'm out. I'm done with you. You know I'm serious about that too.
Not even a
Like,
one freebie?
uh, how long have I known you?
I don't know, you're the one answering the question.
I mean, that's a good question. But but here's the deal. Like, if let's give you, you can earn this is like work. You get one freebie. You get your first freebie after let's say it's either 2 weeks or a month. I don't know.
Or this is
Let's say
like in the
2 weeks of
the
conversation.
committed part of it. Is that what you're talking about? The
No,
committed
we're
rela
still in the just hanging out section. We're still in. If we had enough telephone calls that we have gotten to the point of planning something, and let's say we're 2 weeks in, not a texting back and forth, actual telephone call. The first telephone call we had was 2 weeks ago. I will
Okay.
give you one I understand freebie. One. But here's my deal. Like all the different ways to make contact with people, you couldn't text me. You couldn't at least text me. Like for real. Because I guarantee you there are 3 days on the weekend if you count Friday. Friday, Saturday,
But
Sunday.
it's like
That is 72 hours. You texted somebody in 72 hours. You couldn't text me something in that 72 hours to say, hey, I can't this weekend, but you're going to reach out to me on Monday. Hour 96, I'm supposed to all of a sudden be understanding. Like, and I'm not saying I'm sitting around waiting, but if you made that statement, let's hang out, it bet not better not, it bet not take you 96 hours to freaking take 96 seconds to text me.
I'm not
So
disagreeing with
at
you.
that point, I'm out already. So yeah. So at that point, I'm out already on that person. Like if you can't commit to me and we just got together and you're supposed to be putting on your best face for me, what the
Yeah,
heck
that's
are you
true.
going to
You're
look like
you're
when
like
you?
your best
That's supposed to be your best foot forward. 96 hours. You could have been 9.6. Not today. I'm sure you. I'm sure. If you're skipping out over me on the weekend, I'm sure your autocorrect knows you're going to say not today because you said it to other people. So you type in not today, pops up. It's going to take you 9 seconds to send that text. So
So you're gonna be out
oh, I'm real early on out. Yeah, yeah.
in dating relation
And
in
dating, I'm
new
going to be out early
relationships.
because here's the thing. If you give me the sign that early that you aren't for me, then why am I wasting my time?
I'm not.
Because at that point, I'm only wasting my time. And let's even change that. I'm only wasting my life. Because each section, this is getting to me and my time, my issue with
Getting
it.
testy.
But you're right, I'm getting hot. But each second is a part of my life leaving forever.
Mm-hmm.
Each second. Why am I going to continue to give you seconds when you couldn't respect it enough? If you forget respecting me, you couldn't respect my time enough just to say not today. Unless your mama was in the hospital. You're dealing with some family, something. There are always a certain level of exceptions. Nothing is 100%.
Yeah, nothing is definitive.
There's 100% for me. That's it. Everything else is under 100. So there's always that little bit of an exception there. Something really happened, but it better be a good thing. Like it better be good. Like if it has anything to do along the level of something that to me displays a level of irresponsibility, then I'm going to be like, I'm out. Like, okay, you got drunk so you couldn't call me this weekend. What do you do at a work convention? Are you the one throwing a work party in the hotel room? Like I got to get lit at this at
Clearly you
the
feel very
aviation
strongly-
engineers convention. I
Feel
got to
very
get
strongly about this topic.
yeah, we talked about time. You know what I'm saying? but no, that's when I would be out. That's when I would be out. If we're just the further in the relationship we are, maybe like I said, it's like work. The more vacation time you get, the further we're into the relationship, the more time you might have accrued for me to be understanding. But there is still a line. And if we're real early in that relationship, like we're just talking,
Mm-hmm.
I'm done quickly.
Yeah.
Like I'm done quickly because there are options out there of people who will appreciate me and treat me with the kindness and respect that I should be treated with. that I don't need to be tripping over you who made some commitment and couldn't even make the half second it was to at least say,
Cancel that
I
commitment.
can't do it this weekend.
Yeah.
Because I'll even allow you like the I'm drunk, I can't. Okay. It's not the drunk problem, unless that's how you are every day. Then we have a different issue. But it's not
Right.
that. It's not that you went out and you hung out with friends and you got drunk and you just have this hangover or you just feel real sick and you can't.
Right.
It's not that. It's the fact that you didn't think of me enough to be able to send a message.
Yeah.
So did I answer your question over the spectrums?
I mean, I think you got close enough. I think some of those need to be answered. Like a question like that, I feel like is probably best answered on an individual
Yeah, that's
basis.
why it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's
Because it depends on if like how far you are into the relationship
yeah.
to know like what that is. And like you said, like nothing is like 100%. Nothing is like definitive. You would need to like have some more background.
So how would you answer? Because you have to have some type of answer. It can't just be like, well, it depends. So what would be like? What would be your guiding principle or sliding
Mm.
scale?
I think if you're questioning it more than you're not, if you don't feel good about yourself
Mm-hmm.
with or around this person,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good indicator. I'm trying to think of what some other ones might be. I think it's different in a committed, like a long-term committed relationship, but for the purposes of this, we're just talking about dating.
Right.
Um,
Where does dating start for you then? Or how do you
I don't
parcel or delineate?
well, I think like if you are like repeatedly seeing this person,
Yeah.
you're dating
Is that
this
exclusive,
person.
committed? What words are we using?
I think that's just like dating.
Okay.
Like I said, I think it's sort of like silly the things I see of like, well, you guys have been like seeing each other exclusively for 3 months and you don't say that that this is your boyfriend. Like they
Right.
don't call him it's the boyfriend or
Right.
girlfriend until
How much do those semantics matter?
I think that those could probably be I think that they're like I'm trying to think of like how I want to say this. I think that they are probably like more obvious than what people want to say that they are, but they aren't saying it because they don't want to bring up the conversation of are we exclusive because they don't want the answer to be no. So if I just don't approach the question, then I don't have to get an answer I don't want. Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So
About
they
like
don't
5
approach the
different
question.
thoughts I have on that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I've dated someone before where I've said something about like we're dating and they're like, well, we weren't dating because like we never said that we were dating.
Right. How'd that end up?
Well,
But that's my
my
point.
response to that was like, you came to my home and met my family.
Right,
Like,
though.
we were long distance.
You
And
done met my
came-
family. We ain't dating.
It's probably different for your family than my family.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, but see that's the thing though, because I'm like, people will avoid the semantics of boyfriend or girlfriend or
Yeah.
exclusive or
They won't have the conversation.
they won't have the
bring it up, or they
conversation.
won't-
And then, oh my gosh, so many. Okay, first of all, I think that creates so many issues, like in the root sense of the relationship,
Mhm.
because you can't even, not even just we don't want to put a definition on it. Definition, and no matter what course, for example, I would teach, whether it was listening or communications or diversity or whatever it was, always start with the definition.
Well, it's like I asked you, like, how are you
Yeah.
defining like relationship and how are you describing or what do you mean by relationship in this?
Because
Thing?
so much confusion and so many issues that people have just in a day to day is because of different definitions of the same word. It's the same reason
That's something that we like
all the time,
Yeah,
because you'll have
we work on.
yeah, because you'll have a different definition of something than I will,
Mhm.
or I'll have this thing. And I know I have this thing where I can delineate the definition based on usage, placement, and almost a definition or the connotation based on how it's used or where it's being used, because can be very specific to a very specific
Mhm.
scenario,
Mhm.
where you might be thinking more of the literal definition or the dictionary definition and its
Right.
application. And so those small things can mean we do things or think of things completely differently. And if you have someone thinking I'm in a committed relationship and somebody else thinking I'm in a relationship, well, that committed means a big thing.
Mhm.
If somebody's thinking I am this person's boyfriend and the other person is thinking, well, I'm this person's boyfriend or I'm not this person's boyfriend or something, that means something completely different.
Right.
And it's the base foundation, like the root foundation of that relationship. You can't even agree on the definition of who you are or what you're doing, then how the heck are you going to grow into something better? Like you can't be bigger and better
Yeah.
if you can't even discuss if you're committed with one another. There is no way you can get to a true level of love.
What about the idea of like when someone asks like, "Well, what is this? Like, what are we doing here? What is this?" And the other person's response is, "We're just having fun."
I'm out. I can have fun without you. I was having fun without you before you came. Like we here to have fun. This ain't no Chuck E. Cheese. Like we ain't hanging at Dave and Buster's. I ain't at the relationship. Do I want to have fun in it? Yeah. I mean, we have amazing fun with each
Mhm.
other, but we know exactly where we're trying to go with each other.
Yeah.
There's no questions about that. And if there are, it's like ask me, and I'll tell you what my thoughts are. So, so there. If we're just if you think you're in it, if somebody thinks they're in a committed relationship and they ask somebody, what are we doing? The person says, we're just having fun. That's
There's your
done.
answer.
That's done.
There's your
That's
answer.
done.
This person does not want to
That done.
this person does not want to be with you
That's
long
done.
term.
No, that's done.
This
It's
person does
over.
not want to be with you long term.
Or I need to think about it. Done. It's complicated. Done.
We were having such a good time.
'Cause
Why'd
if
you have to go and bring that up?
Right. Oh, you don't want to talk about it. Done. Going back to the when do you end it? You don't want to talk about it. It's done. Like apparently you ain't in this like me.
Okay. Oh, this is a good next question.
Uh-oh. Didn't I answered the last one first, right?
Should you stop chasing dates?
You get to start this one.
What does this question mean?
Whatever you mean. You're answering it first.
I feel like next time I should probably write some
Feel free.
questions.
You can.
Like, what do you mean chasing
You
dates?
say pen and paper's there. You can write it. Chasing dates. You know, when people just run out and they go date one person after the next person, after the next person, after the next person, just because they
Okay,
want to
so
have
like
dates.
they're chasing like different people just for the purpose of having a date.
Just for the person of having a date. Or, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, that makes
if
more
you're
sense.
chasing dates in the other way, then you also have your answer on when to end that bad boy.
If you're chasing dates, what?
If you're chasing dates with the idea of like, I'm just trying to get somebody to go out on a date with me, like
Oh
if
yeah.
you have somebody and you're trying to chase them down for a date, then you have your answer on when to stop
Yeah,
that
they don't want
relationship.
if you're
They don't,
chasing them down,
yeah,
yeah, they don't want to
they should want to date you as
they don't
much
want
as
to
you
date.
want to date them.
It's like on what was it, My Best Friend's Wedding, or at the end where he was like,
Sure.
Jules, like, who's chasing you? And like nobody was chasing nobody. And he's like, there's your
There's your answer.
there's your answer. Like no one's chasing you.
Yeah.
Okay. So should you stop chasing dates? I think if you're just looking for someone to go out with, and you're constantly like, if you're never staying in anything long enough to see like, is this real or can this be real?
Yeah.
Then that's an issue.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you keep finding yourself like repeatedly dating the same like type of person over
Ooh,
and over and over,
I like that.
and you're like chasing and like you're like I'm trying to find the right person, so I'm just going out with a bunch of different people because
Yeah.
I'll give you that, right?
Yeah.
I do think like you have to practice. I think dating is something that you is good to practice.
Okay.
So if you just find yourself repeatedly dating or spending time with the same type of person or finding yourself matched or going out with the same type of person, that probably needs to be addressed on an individual level.
Okay.
Um so if you keep doing the same thing over and over and you keep like not finding the person, but you're not adjusting or changing, then we probably need to like address like what that is
Yeah. Now
and
explain
why that is.
explain dating in practice though. Or
Uh,
dating as practice, I guess.
I feel like dating is like when you start like lifting weights at the gym
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like weird and awkward and uncomfortable and you don't know like what's going on or what you're doing.
Yeah.
I feel like dating can sort of be like that, right? And the more that you practice it, the more comfortable you become, the more it just feels natural to you.
Yeah.
So like while there's always probably going to be, or a lot of times there's going to be a lot of like nervousness or uneasiness or anxiety about going out on a date and meeting someone or like striking up a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
The more that you do it, the more normal and natural it's going to feel.
But you very specifically said that you think that people should date people outside of their, because people, they shouldn't date the same person, same type of person, for
Yeah.
example. Because couldn't you learn just as, not just as much, but isn't there something to learn from dating the same person and something to learn from dating a bunch of different people?
I mean, I guess, but I don't understand the function of your question.
The function of my question is, do you learn things differently if you, so if you date the same person, the same type of person, same height,
Mm.
same build, same job,
Well,
same
I think you'd
personality.
have to ask like,
Oh, I didn't explain yet though.
okay, go ahead. By all means.
I was just saying, if you date the same type of person, then you kind of always have the same reflection back on you to understand certain things about yourself, because the person, the characteristics or the personality of the person you're dating hasn't shifted. When you date different people, then you have a different set of characteristics you're managing against. So it might tell you or teach you something different about yourself
Mhm.
because you're not always comparing against the same backdrop. I guess you don't have the same control group.
Yeah, I think that both of those things could be good.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that you want to like continue to date the same person that's not the same type of person
Yeah.
that's not working out,
What if
you
they're like,
know.
but I have a type? That's the justification for this same person. But I have a type. I'm really attracted to this type of person.
I think that's where that like inner work needs to come into play. Like if you're
You're just
constantly
saying you need
attracted.
help.
No, like I heard it once at a seminar or something I was at, that they were like, you're not wrong, like your chooser is wrong, your picker is
Your
wrong.
picker. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like there's a reason why you continue to pick the same type of person.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why someone's like, oh, I'm never gonna marry someone like my mom or my dad, and then marry someone like their parent
Mm-hmm.
that they said that they didn't want to marry.
Yeah.
Right. And unless we address that issue, then you very well might continue to just go after that person because it feels normal and natural. And that's what, like, 'cause chaos can feel comforting to someone that grew up in chaos.
Yeah.
You know, that's what feels most comforting to
So
them.
are they
That's what feels,
searching? Well, not are they searching for that chaos, but is a person who's choosing the same style, same type of person, is it because they're just comfortable in that space more so? Is
maybe they
comfort
don't.
take it? Here's a better question.
Okay.
Is comfort, maybe not a better question because I can't figure it out. But I was going to say, if is comfort taking, is comfort really driving the selection over type or style?
Is comfort driving over type or style?
Like, is they're saying I have a type. This is my type of person. Is my type of
Like,
person
I
really?
like
This
a,
is my comfortable place, so I'm going to stay in this ballpark.
and so is there something to learn from that? Is that what you're saying?
No, no. I'm asking is when somebody's saying this is my type, is that really them just saying this is where I'm comfortable? And is that limiting? It's probably where I'm thinking about that.
I think it can be limiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But if you're someone who finds yourself constantly drawn to like chaos
Mm-hmm.
or drama or something,
Yeah.
then like there's probably something in your past that we need to address to get you through to like, because like what that is like, oh, I only feel like most not like most in my like a normal state or most familiar, maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's the way to put it. What
Mm-hmm.
feels familiar to me is chaos. What feels familiar to me is someone who says they want to spend time with me but never initiates contact.
Right. Okay.
What feels familiar to me is someone that showers me with affection but then withdraws and withholds,
Okay.
right? But you like the showering of affection, but you
You
don't
hate that
like the
withdrawal.
withdrawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like you're excited that they want to make plans with you. They say that they miss you, you know, but you don't like that they,
Call you on Tuesday.
right. But because that was your norm, that was what was modeled for you
Mm-hmm.
in your formative years, that's what feels normal to you.
Yeah.
So if you're continually dating the same type of person that's the same type of wrong or not for you, right? we need to like go back and say like, where do we think this came from?
Right.
Like if this is the pattern, and like we've said before, like patterns are very predictable, like
Right.
by
Right.
their
Right.
very nature.
That chaotic thing isn't as chaotic as you
Yeah.
think it is because there's a clear pattern of you
Right.
going through the same process.
Right. So what is it that makes you drawn to that person?
So how do you and I'm thinking about this in the realm because of course there's the idea of we want to go back, we want to work on this stuff, we want to remove this stuff out of the self
Hmm.
before you get into this space. But then as you're going into dating, how do you become comfortable with stepping outside of your familiar so that you can date different types of people and have those new opportunities of learning, or that maybe possibly the new opportunity of finding someone who wants to show you affection and actually does show you affection.
Maybe it's the idea or the notion of saying like, this isn't what I would normally say yes to,
Mm,
but maybe I should just say yes.
mm.
Like what's the like what if?
What
Like
if?
what if I just say yes,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And we still have some parameters on this. Yes, but yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
There's still
But
some
we are
parameters.
gonna it's the idea of like if your things are, oh, this is what I want, and those are all like these like measurable things. Like I want them to be this
This tall,
tall or
yeah.
this short, or I want them to make this much money, or I want them to have this level of education, or I want them, to look this certain way.
Yeah,
You know, if that's what we find ourselves drawn to, and that is what a lot of dating apps
yeah. They take
like
the
are showing, like because
superficial. Yeah.
that's what's measurable,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Yep.
But maybe if we just say yes to someone that wouldn't be like our norm,
Yeah.
we would go to like, okay, well, maybe this person doesn't make as much money as what I would
Yeah.
like, or maybe they don't have the same level of education that I have.
Or maybe this is the tech guy or the tech woman
Right.
that I generally wouldn't speak to, but we'll
Yeah.
go see.
Right. Like, if nothing else, I've met someone new and maybe like learned something or expanded my knowledge,
Right.
or, if nothing else, have a great story.
Right. True.
Right. So what if I
Stories
just
will
say,
help you out later in the dating life.
stories will help you. Stories will help you out. They always come back.
So
Those
you might as
puzzle
well get them
pieces.
good stories, right?
Those puzzle pieces always find their place.
Ah, so you specifically had a question for me that I was avoiding earlier.
I don't remember what.
Oh, sounds good to me. It looks like I won on that one.
Oh,
Oh,
wait, I
never
think
mind.
it was
Now you're
something along
recalling
the
it.
lines of, I say like we talk a lot in this space about people who have like been in the dating world,
Mm-hmm.
right? And maybe it's their first committed relationship or like long-term, lifelong, however you want.
Yeah.
Because as we know, like I don't like generally like to use the word like marriage. I don't think marriage is the be all to end all or anything like
Mhm.
that. I also don't think that you need to like be legally married to be in a committed
Be
like long-term
spiritually married.
relationship. Right.
Yeah.
So for you as someone that like started dating when you were in college
Mm-hmm.
and married that person, how old were you?
When we got married,
Yeah.
23. I
A
believe it's
baby.
23. Yeah, 23. 22,
Okay.
23, somewhere in that area.
And then coming out of that
Mm-hmm.
to your mid 40s,
Mhm.
mid 30s,
Mid
sorry.
30s.
Yeah.
Don't
Sorry.
advance it now. Trying to hold on to these years, man.
Mid 30s. How was that different for you? Or what did that feel like? Or what are some of the fears, apprehensions you had?
Oh man.
It's completely different.
It's
The dating
completely
world was
different
completely
because
different.
it was 15 years later because I was married for 13 and then we had been together for 2. So
So mid 30s.
so yeah, it was mid 30s. And we had dated in college, or started dating in college. So you're in that closed environment, that controlled environment of being inside college and dating through college, and then you come out into the world, and so you're kind of almost in this protected bubble realm that you don't realize until later on. And back then, dating, of course, was you meet friends, you go hang out at a party, something of that nature, somebody who's in the school space or the party space, and online was just getting started, but it wasn't big. By the time I
That
go,
would have been
that was 2000.
MySpace.
That have been MySpace terror. Your top 5. Who's your top 5? MySpace was a thing. Black Planet was a thing. But then you come out and you're like, you're in this different realm. There's online dating. Tinder was still in this early period of being like place where you hook up,
Mhm.
and you come out of a marriage that you've been in, a relationship you've been in for 15 years, and there's a period of coming out of that relationship where you have to go, or I had to go through that thing where it is, I'm worthy of a good relationship. I'm worthy of being loved. I am attractive. I am a person that someone wants to be around. Because there was a lot of in that marriage just being misaligned, and that misalignment tearing my soul down. And I'm sure it tore her down, my former wife's soul down as well, because we just weren't aligned.
Mhm.
And it wasn't a bad marriage where it was like any cheating, or somebody had an addiction, or any domestic violence, or any of that
Right.
stuff, which almost in some weird way made it harder.
Mhm.
Because when somebody's looking in from the outside, it's like, but y'all get along, and I can't tell there's anything wrong. But it's like we're so misaligned, and so you go through this period where it's like you're trying to do this inner searching and this inner rebuild, because you have to go back to self, and you have to build back
Right.
the self that got you into that relationship.
Mm.
The issues, or the doubts, or the questions you had about you that allowed you to be in that relationship. And then you have to go back and look through, well, when we both discovered it, why did we hold on trying to keep it there? What were those reasons for trying to continue to make this relationship work when we both weren't necessarily in a happy place? You've got to figure all that out. And then you go out into the world and start dating. And you're going out into the world and you start dating, and there's a certain level of, and I'm sure other people who've had this, and I believe there's a different level of, I had a long-term relationship and I broke up, compared to, yeah, I had a divorce. Like, one of
Mm.
those seem very different, you know?
Mm.
Everybody breaks up. And even though the divorce rate is up around or above 50% these days, that's still at least half the people not getting divorced. So everybody doesn't get divorced. So there seems to be, at least personally, there seems to be this high level of feeling a certain level of failure because of that. So you had this long relationship that at that time I'm reading as failure. I have kids coming out of that relationship, and there's a big worry and a big focus on, I'm not just dating for me. I'm not just dating somebody that I might find attractive or who I might find interesting. I also have to date someone who's willing to come in and step in and be a step parent. And the key word there is not the step part, it's the parent part. Like, there's still parents. We put the step part in there legally to create these delineations, but the kids are going to be around this person as a parental figure. And you have to, for lack of better term, actually, I'll say it this way anyway, because I think it's funny. You have to shop. You have to shop better. Like, like, you gotta shop better. You can't go Kmart shopping with like Nordstrom money. I guess that metaphor works. But you have to shop and look in mind with that. Kids are involved. How are
Mhm.
they going to take factor to this? I have changed a lot internally. How am I going to take factor to this? I have baggage that I either am bringing in or dropping off. Either way, I have to make sure that what is there, whether I work through it or not, gets brought in and at least discussed and told. And we had this discussion. I was like, here's everything that I know is wrong with me, right? Like, this is what you need to know before we go further, because those things, just like somebody not being able to use the word boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, is a root issue in the relationship. Those bags that I carry out of my previous marriage comes into
Yeah.
this marriage. It's the reason we joked earlier. We were just joking about how I hate you saying we got to talk.
Yeah.
Where do you think that came from? Like,
And
like
I try to make sure to say, "Hey, we need to talk."
right. It doesn't matter how you say it. You can go Jessica Rabbit as much as you want to. Like, no, like it does.
No, I try to say it so it makes you
You're
nervous.
right. I know you do. You do. You can say it anyway to make me nervous. But all of that factors into the dating. Then I've told you before, like, I actually went on practice dates. Here's where practicing comes in. The first first weekend that I lived on my own after after
The
moving
divorce is
out,
finally,
after the
yeah.
divorce, and lived on my own, and the kids weren't at my house. I went out on a date. Now, did that person have any chance of ever getting to a point of marriage? I would say as close to 100% as possible. Like I probably
100% no.
no, not 100, but it's close to.
Okay. Well,
You know,
because you said, did they have a chance of us like being married? And then you said
yeah,
100%.
no, no, no. I said it's close to 100%
Mm,
as real as possible. It's like the 99.9. Like okay, there's that 0.1% possibility, but really, I'm at this point. I just need to go out and date somebody. I need to know what the heck dating is right now compared to what it was. I need to know what it is for people outside in the world versus people who just got outside back to the world. I need to know what the heck that is for me. I need to understand how I can be who I want to be, who I am, without worrying about somebody else's thoughts or opinions or commitments because I'm no longer tied to that place.
mhm.
And there are so many different other elements and levels to that because it's like, how do I communicate with somebody now? Can I just say what I want to say? Because I just came out of something where I had to hold myself from saying what I wanted to say because it might get taken wrong. So there, the whole amount of skills I feel like I needed to relearn or refamiliarize myself with because of having been in a relationship and having been in survival mode for so long. Because that's what it was towards the end. It's like you're in survival mode.
Mhm.
And I believe that it's like that for other people we've talked to. You're in
Mhm.
survival mode.
Mhm.
And so you come out of survival mode and you go back into the world to date. And it's like you've walked into a grocery store for the first time after having had to eat in a forest forever. You walk and you're like, oh crap, I got choices and it's boxed food. The packaging looks so great on that one, you know. And so it's that thing where you almost have to relearn and readjust so many different things, but at the same time apply the experiences that you've had so that you don't go back and make the same mistake again, or that you don't make another mistake because the divorce rate for people who've been already divorced is actually higher.
Right. What was what would you say was the thing that you were like most caught off guard by or shocked by after like beginning your dating again after not dating for 15 years?
Oh, that's a good question. One thing that caught me because it was still, I guess, as consistent as I thought it would was no, as consistent as it was when I was dating the first time was the list of this is what I want and how it was so specifically ranked to these like certain measurables. Like I remember having a conversation with somebody and going out on a date with someone, and I'm broad shouldered dude, so even though I'm not like 6 feet tall, I am a big build, and so even if someone is around my same height, I'm or taller than me, I can look.
Mhm.
I can be next to somebody 6 feet and look natural, or 6'1" or 6'2" and look naturally fine next to them because I can be broader. I'm broad, and so it was somebody who had the list of like, oh, I thought you'd be taller and stuff of that
So you
nature.
were surprised at the list being someone's list being applied to you.
No, 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 no,
You
no,
didn't have a list?
no, no. I was surprised. I was. I hate to surprise is kind of hard here. I was
Caught
surprised.
off guard.
No, I was surprised in the sense that I was somewhat not surprised, but still surprised that the people still had the list, like the tangible, measurable list of things, and that's what they were basing their relationship off of the
Mm,
checklist.
the checklist.
I was surprised at that part of it, and then I was actually more openly surprised, caught off guard, surprised, more to say, at the directness that people at that time were dealing with, which is weird because I feel like now when we speak to people, that directness is now turned into another direction of now we won't talk about this, as opposed to being like, let's clear the air. This is what I'm looking for, or this is what I'm not looking for, which is much much more the way I prefer to operate. Like if we're boyfriend and girlfriend, let's just claim it, call it, and move on. Instead of like dancing around this bad boy. Now we're spending 3 or 4 months trying to figure out if we're boyfriend or girlfriend or not. Instead of claiming that sucker in 3 or 4 months, we can actually evolve the relationship. It seems like a huge waste of time to me, but back to that time thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How would you describe your feelings going on that first date after not
Oh,
dating for
terrifying.
15 years?
Oh, it was terrifying. Oh, oh my gosh. I don't even know how to explain it. It was like going back to being like a kid. Like it was going back to being a kid walking in a place you've never been before and scared out of your. I can remember there was a spot up the street. It was an Italian restaurant that was kind of structured like a Chipotle. Like you go down the aisle and pick what you want on your thing, and you walk in there. We were going in there. It was actually a meal instead of just coffee or something, but it was lunch, so it's supposed to be a small meal. She had a break from work, so that's why we went there. I remember coming in like all black, like a bleach blondish type of hair, and being like, "Oh crap! Now what do we say? What do we talk? How do we?" And oh, it was awful. Oh, it was awful. It was awful. You would have thought I'd never spoken to a human. It was awful. It was awful because I'd gotten to this place in the relationship too where I was worried because of physical things happening in a relationship that I was like I wouldn't even be in the same room with another female by myself. And so now I'm sitting here talking to this female across the opposite end of a table. I am attracted to her, but I haven't haven't been allowed to be attracted to any other females for 15 years or decade and a half, whichever one sounds longer. It's a long time. Like it's a long time. And now I'm sitting here supposed to like be able to talk and have conversations. It was weird. It was terrible. It was terrible. I was like a kid. I was terrible. But that's the thing. That's why you got to practice.
Yeah.
That goes back
Yeah.
to what you were saying about practicing. Because how different was it for you from your first? How different does that sound from your first date? Like your first serious date?
Oh. Okay, is it bad that I don't recall my first serious
I
date?
guess not for me. Nah, I don't mind.
You know me well enough to know, like, that tracks. That's on par.
That's on par. Cool. But I guess you can't
Yes,
answer that question then.
yeah, I don't remember that. Like, you mean, like, dating you versus, like, a
No, dating. I was asking specifically like the first serious date because
mm.
if we're comparing my first serious date post marriage versus say the first serious date when you got serious about dating, you know?
And that as I'm thinking about that now and just, like, some things are running through my mind, part of me wants to say, like, my job is making people feel comfortable with me,
Yeah,
and, like, my job is, like, out meeting people I've never met
yeah.
and talking about very, like, serious, in-depth things. Also, like, I am just a very, like, off the cuff,
Uh huh.
bantery,
Uh
quick-witted
huh.
person.
Uh huh.
So I feel like when it comes sometimes to that, like, meeting someone for the first time,
Yeah, you just kicked in the work role.
sort of,
Yeah,
but I mean, like, that's inherently also, like, who I am.
yeah.
You know, like, when we meet somebody out and about, you might say we get in the car and you might say, "Oh, how I met so and so, and they, like, said this," and I oftentimes like, "Oh, yeah, I met them too," and, like, rattle off this whole list of things about their life, and you'll ask, like, "How long did you
Right.
talk to that person?" I'm like, "I don't know, maybe, like, 2 to 5 minutes?"
Yep. You go all into personal questions. I'd be like tiptoeing a line.
Yeah. I mean, the pest control person comes to the house, and
Well,
I'm like, "What do you wanna do with your life?"
pretty much.
Literally.
Why you alive? Why you alive? You go out in personal question. I just walk up like, let me give you a
Right. Right.
hug.
So I think probably for me, like that, wasn't coming off that,
Yeah,
and like the job that I was doing before that, and then like dating like in this job, like
yeah,
as a therapist or whatever, it was still like just I always had like a people facing job. I told you, like, in my previous life, I was a hairstylist, so I was, like, always had a
Yeah.
people-facing
Yeah.
job and making people feel comfortable around me and with me and, like, in the close proximity
Yeah.
to them, like, touching them,
Yeah.
touching someone's head
Touching
is
someone's hair. That's
yeah,
intimate.
right.
That's intimate.
So as far as that, like, I guess I probably really didn't have I've never actually thought about that though,
Yeah.
but I probably didn't have that same
Well, you said
thing.
something about meeting the first time meeting me. What was that like? I don't imagine it wasn't. Well, you know what? I want to shut up and just listen.
I feel like I had a good read of you before we actually met in person because we dated long distance. What was that face?
A good read of me.
Before we dated in person. But then there were some things like about you that like then you shared like once we met, like you weren't like comfortable like holding my hand or
Yeah.
giving me a hug or
Yeah.
things like that because that just felt that you were conditioned like that's not don't do that.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
still like after 8 years, that's still one of our
Yeah.
jokes where I'll say like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to your arm here,
Yeah.
just to be silly.
And I'm like, and
Systematic
you can't push me
desensitization.
away now. Like,
And then I say like, I'm a therapist, just trust the process, systematic desensitization, you know.
yeah.
Um but no, and like even like we've been together for 8 years
Hmm.
and I still ask you questions and you still ask me questions about like past relationships. Cause even
Yeah.
like sitting here listening today, I was like, I don't fully recall all this stuff. And I'm sure you've told it to me because I'm sure I've asked lots of in-depth
Yeah. But
detailed
over the
questions.
years,
Like we've just filled it in with
think, yeah, we fill it in.
lots of other information.
It's something I've said. I used to say a long time ago, and I probably haven't said it in a long time. You probably don't remember me even saying it. I would say I might ask you the same question twice because I might forget the answer.
Yes.
You know, because 8 years is a lot. It's a lot of time, and we spend a lot of time together, so we talk a lot.
Hmm.
Even not only about personal views and past relationships, but professional views and
Yeah.
professional relationships, and then pointless stuff like entertainment and blah 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 and sports and TV and stuff. So there's a lot of conversation we have back and forth, and then we're always stacking new information and new thoughts on top of everything. And so yeah, it's some of those things you go back and that goes back into that thing with the relationship where it's this idea of even though I expect you to always know the biggest values and the biggest base points for me,
Hmm.
I don't expect you to know every single detail because it would be hard to remember all the details of my life that I want you to remember.
Right. And I think too the concept of like growing together because some of those even like values have shifted for the two of us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We've grown together
Mm-hmm.
and as well as growing individually. So I think that even that like knowing those things and like talking about those things is important.
Yeah.
And that like you reserve the right to like change your mind
Yeah.
on things.
Especially if you get new information.
Anyways, I'm sure we'll talk more about, the difference between, because like you said at the beginning, like we come from two completely different worlds,
Yep.
not just like the way that we look, but like where we grew up,
Yep.
our families of origin,
Yep.
things like that. Our
City to
personal and
country.
professional histories
Yep.
are just so polar opposite of one another.
Yep.
So I'm sure we'll talk about more of that stuff.
We definitely will. And then we
As
talk
we are just
about it
having these
in
conversations.
our groups when we have shift. The
Oh yeah,
dating
we talk
groups.
about that stuff
Yeah.
all the time in our dating group and in your coach with your coaching
With my coaching, we bring it up.
people.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so it gets out there into the world, and of course, if anybody wants to talk to us, they're always welcome to reach out and do that.
Oh, we love talking
And
to people.
oh, we love that. And then the groups have been fun,
They've been a
and they've
blast.
been a
They've been a
blast.
blast. And we still
So
hear from
we
some
still
of
hear from
them
them. We get
and
updates. The
that's fun.
success rate has been amazing because I think the way we approach the group, I like the way we approach the group because we're both very root to the root cause type of people.
Mhm.
And so superficial things, I'm about to say superficial things are great as a throwaway comment, but I don't even know if I believe that's true. Like superficial things are superficial.
Mhm.
And to really understand why you do and how you are with somebody and to really truly get to having that most authentic relationship requires you really really digging down deeply inside yourself first before you can get to someone else.
Right. And I think that another thing that works really well for what we're doing with those groups is that
Yeah.
like we are very real.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We are very
Yeah.
real, and that just makes people feel more comfortable with asking
Yeah.
and questioning.
Yep.
And so like I think that's just very helpful
Yeah.
that we have said like she'll ask us whatever you want to
Yep.
ask us, and we're going to be
Yeah.
like
We'll be
open
like,
and honest
we're struggling here right now.
with you.
We're doing great here right now. She
Right.
called me out on this last week. I hated it. I called her out on that. Still mad at me about
He
it.
asked
But
me the same question 4 times in one day.
that's right. I
So
did. I wanted to make sure the answer stayed the same. That's a lie. I just forgot the answer.
I know.
I can even hold that in for like
And the
5
main
seconds.
thing too is like we want to have fun.
Oh, heck
Like
yeah.
we want to have
Because
fun.
we don't believe relationships have to be hard. Like you've been
No,
through
that
your
doesn't mean
version
that
of
they're
hard.
devoid of work.
No, by no
But
means.
yeah.
Hard, fun is not. Is it
The
mutually
sentiment right now about
exclusive?
dating is that it is not fun.
Yeah, yeah,
So if we can provide some of that and make people feel like excited about it and confident about
Yep.
it and ready to just like try some new things,
yeah. Because you know what's not why dating ain't fun?
why?
Because you let that fool call you 96 hours later after he should have canceled and sent a text, and then you went out on the next date with him. That's why it ain't fun.
Because you say yes when you
Because you
go
said
out
yes.
when
You should have
didn't
been
want-
done with him. Should have been done with him. 73 hours, he's cut.
Anyways, we'll talk some more.
Next time, y'all.